Hello, welcome to the ESS BizTools Accountants Minute podcast. Our podcast for this fortnight is titled, Is Your Practice Roadmap on Target? In May 2022, the CommBank Accounting Market Pulse report was released. This is the report that the CommBank team have been producing for the last 6 years, which analyses Australian accountancy firms. It's based on surveys that the bank's consultants have undertaken with about 45 accountancy practices, we're told, of all sizes, situated all over Australia. This report indicated that business advisory services was rated as the top product for accountants to be rolled out in 2022-23. So an important question, I think, for every principal of an accounting firm and hopefully all accountancy firm team members to ask themselves is, how is your business shaping up to meet this rollout target of business advisory services? What does business advisory services cover? I've had a few people ask me of late. I think the easy answer is it covers everything that is beyond the preparation of annual financial accounts and income tax returns. But I know that many of you have prepared additional information on a periodic basis for your clients. But what we're advocating with business advisory services is this process becomes part of your everyday workflow, so that you're conscious of what your clients are doing on a weekly basis, and then roll it into monthly, and then into the annual. So it's a 52-week of the year monitoring of your clients' business affairs, as if you were the in-house virtual chief financial officer. Now, this is a major step for many of you to be committed to providing this additional range of services to assist your clients. But I think it's necessary. The Tax Commissioner has given due warning that he expects significant reductions in the volume of tax returns being lodged from 3 years' time. This is because of the technology upgrades. And if you've been reading Accountants Minute on a regular basis, or you'd like to go back and find some of them, you're most welcome. They're all on the ESS BizTools website. You will know that we have had a number of Accountants Minutes that have concentrated on the American experience with technology and their tax office, and what some accountancy firms have done to compensate for the reduction in work that they now have because of the technology upgrades instigated by the software producing companies, of course, and the American Taxation Office. We have had the privilege of hearing from an American accountant who has talked to us about the improvements. Adam Hale has been very generous with his time in telling us what has transpired in America, what he has done within his accounting firm, which basically related to the introduction of virtual chief financial officer services. Hale's indicated that accountants need to get to know your clients a lot better than what you probably already know them. If you're going to be offering a virtual chief financial officer service, You need to know a lot more about what's happening in your client's business than what you need to know or would normally know to finalise financial accounts and an income tax return. Because you need to bear in mind that if you're basically responsible for the full accounting function, which is the service that you can offer to your clients, and hopefully you're going to do this to all of your business clients, you need to go back to the very beginning of the process. Whereas to prepare an annual set of accounts and a tax return, you're probably relying on the software to produce a final set of accounts or the internal office staff to prepare them. You review them, undertake some audits of the information, verify the key items, all items in the balance sheet, and then prepare the income tax return. But if you're offering the ongoing service of being the virtual CFO, you need to go back to the very beginning. What's the internal controls? What's the processes charted out? Where are there potential internal control issues that maybe the client's never thought about? And you probably have never thought about because it's never been part of your brief before, but now it would be. So you need to go back to the beginning. I think every business needs a business plan. And the ideal person to coordinate the preparation of that and to finalise the preparation is you as the accountant. You would sit down with the leadership team and try to understand their vision. Where do they want this business to be in 5 years' time? And then you can plan what the accounting system should be, built around what the business system is. I had a background as the Chief Financial Officer and Company Secretary of a listed public company that had about 350 individual business operations around the eastern states of Australia. Our system was to prepare weekly profitability reports on each of those activities. It was done by the regional offices that we had scattered around Australia, with a person who was an accountant or a very good office manager in control there. And those results were then discussed with the local managers, and the area manager coordinated that, acting as the managing director of that group of businesses. And then all that information was then sent through to head office, where my team analysed it, and we submitted a report to the CEO, who received that before lunch on a Wednesday for the previous up to Saturday night trading. Now, this was in an era where we didn't have the computers and we didn't have Zoom and we didn't have a lot of the technology which we've now got. And I know people now prepare this even quicker. But it's the sort of control you can get. Why shouldn't you be doing that for your SME client? Sure, they might only be running one business, but they might have 2 or 3 branches, or they might have even more. So that you could start your journey with your client with a weekly report which looked at the profitability. Now, there's going to be some reasonable estimates made in some of the items, primarily expenses, which you will have a budget and you analyse it there, and you'll take 1/52nd of that annual budget item into account. I know you're not going to have everything that you can clearly say that that's what was actually spent this week. Some of it's going to be estimates. But the benefit is you will get some key performance indicators on various items: gross profit percentage, labour to turnover, wastage percentage, and other items that are peculiar to that particular business, and a profitability result. Details of the debtors. And then you can flow into the monthly financial accounts, which would be a comparison to budget. More key performance indicators. Key performance indicators are vital for businesses because it keeps them on track. Now, these are the sort of things that flow out of the CommBank Accounting Market Pulse, identifying that business advisory services is going to be the key item for firms in 2022-23. How are you going? The other item that they identified very clearly is that accounting firms had nominated their biggest problem as being talent attraction and retention. I've just given you a snippet of the workflow as I see it if you're offering a comprehensive service to your clients, performing business advisory services or taking it right through to the virtual CFO service. I think you're going to be giving your team some very interesting and challenging work. I think you'll get some endorsements from your team saying we're now doing real accounting work. I got an email from a young lady years ago after I had trained and mentored the accounting firm she worked in. And she said to me, I was getting ready to leave an accounting firm and get out of accounting because I didn't believe I was doing anything constructive, but I'm now doing real accounting work. Thank you. How will your team react? We also comment on the Access Group report where they also talked about motivated staff. And they found that firms that had highly motivated people were significantly more likely to meet and exceed their revenue targets compared to firms who had low staff morale. And this all supports the comments that Australian accounting guru Andrew Geddis, former chair of ASX top 200 company Green Cross and one of the joint founders of the Financial Management Research Centre 40 years ago at the University of New England, where Andrew has spoken in a number of our podcasts, and we reported it in some accountants' minutes late last year, that he believes the problem with accounting firms in attracting and retaining young accountants is that they're rebelling to sitting there working on tax returns all day, trying to meet an 80% productivity target. They don't like it. So what he suggested is firms should be saying partners are going to be taking these younger accountants out on jobs, out to meet the clients, to meet the managing director or the owner of the business, with the partner or senior manager, so they can understand the process. They can listen to the questions. Now, don't have them just sitting there. They'll get bored. Give them instructions that they're to take down the minutes of the meeting and prepare them when they get back to the office, the action plan, because there should be an action plan prepared out of every meeting. And that way they will gain experience. Now, this is very similar to what the banks used to do when they were real bank managers. You never ever spoke to a bank manager on his or her own, or very rarely. There was always a younger member of the banking team sitting at the end of the desk. They were taking the notes on the meeting. It was a great trainer for them. They understood how business people spoke and thought, and they heard how their manager handled it. Andrew Geddis is suggesting basically the same system needs to be introduced by accounting firms if you're going to overcome the problem of talent, attraction, and retention, so that you can retain these people. Another item that we've covered in Accountants Minute this week is client profiles. The reports that were produced have indicated that accountants need to be really trying to specialize in particular industries so that you understand more about them. And going back to our friend Adam Hale in the USA, in the webinar we conducted with him in around September last year, he indicated this is very important, that his firm has gone out as far as they can to understand more about their clients. And he made the comment, you need to know your clients 1 inch wide but a mile deep. How effectively do you and your accounting team know your client's business? Do you know it 1 mile deep? So there are significant opportunities for client specialization. And in fact, the reports from the Access Group have nominated a number of industries that client specialization's been made. But you just go through your client list and identify who is producing 80% of your income. Might be a start. Use the 80-20 rule. Who's the industries that are supplying the bulk of your fees? And then look at it. And perhaps you should be asking your clients for some referrals to other people in those industries. Perhaps you should be asking your client if they'll invite you to go to some of their industry meetings and conferences so that you're seen there, so you can gain an understanding. And then you could offer to write a report or a presentation that could be presented at one of those meetings. Invariably, they're always looking for speakers. And invariably, they have trouble getting accountants because accountants are a bit shy on cameras and talking to more than half a dozen people. But you shouldn't be. You should practice that. Learn how to talk to 40, 50 people, because that will help you get noticed. And that will help your firm become known as experts in hotels, in real estate, in corner stores, in whatever type of industry that you want to be in. We have also mentioned in this Accountant's Minute the referral, and I mentioned referrals a little bit earlier, and we have linked up with Trevor Marchant's The Boss Factor Library for Accountants, and within that library of 65 separate publications, there is material to guide you on how to set up a referral system within your firm so you get referrals from your clients. So this is part of the process that we have documented in this edition of Accountant's Minute to help you have a better understanding of how your firm is going. We also talk about communications. And one of our other affiliates, Brad Smart, who's a long-time media consultant and editor, owner of radio stations, CEO of a group of radio stations, and author of Selling the Message. He believes it's very important that you upgrade the standard of your e-newsletters, this vital communication. And you can do that also. And he is happy to help you. We have a link to his article. So let's go back to the question that I raised at the very beginning of this talk. Is your practice roadmap on target with implementing business advisory services in 2022-23? It's only about 4.5 months until the CommBank Accounting Market Pulse report for this year is released. They'll be identifying new targets, new mountains to be climbed by the firms that they've interviewed. If you haven't already implemented business advisory services, you are behind. So now should be a great time to catch up. Why not visit our website, www.essbiztools.com.au, where you can view the material that's on offer from ESS BizTools and our grant associate, ESS BizGrants. So you can visualize how you can supply these services to your clients so that you're able to offer them outstanding services that will help you keep those people as clients. And as they grow, they will be paying higher fees to you because you're going to be doing more services. And this variety of services will really assist you in this very important challenge that accountancy firms and a lot of other businesses have also at present, and that is the retention of talent and attraction of talent to your firm. If you'd like to talk to me about any issue relative to supplying these types of services to your clients, please give me a ring, 1-800-232-088, or most certainly you're welcome to visit our website, www.essbiztools.com.au. Thank you very much for being with us today. Stay safe. Goodbye.